The man who walked with God. In a world drowning in darkness, where the hearts of men were filled with violence and evil, there was one man who stood out, Noah. Noah lived during a time when the earth was corrupt in God's eyes. People no longer walked in righteousness. They turned their backs on the Creator, worshipped idols, and lived for their own pleasure. The earth, once beautiful and good, had become a place of chaos. But in the middle of that corruption, God saw Noah. He was different. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Genesis 6:9. Noah prayed when others mocked him. He followed God's voice when everyone else ignored it. And because of this, God chose him for a mission that would not only test his faith, but save humanity. One quiet morning, God spoke to Noah. Noah, the Lord said, I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence. But I will establish my covenant with you. Build an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in it, and cover it with pitch inside and out. An ark. A massive boat. It was a command that defied logic. There were no oceans nearby. No clouds in the sky. No sign of rain. But Noah did not question God. He didn't laugh or make excuses. He obeyed. For over 100 years, Noah worked on the ark. Hammer after hammer, plank after plank, he followed every instruction God gave. Its length, its height, the number of decks, the door on the side, and the window near the roof. Imagine what people must have said. Crazy old Noah, building a boat in the middle of nowhere. But Noah didn't build the ark for people's approval. He built it out of obedience. Then came the next step. God said to Noah, you are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you, birds, animals, and creatures that move along the ground. And so they came, animals from the forests, birds from the skies, crawling things from the ground. 2 by 2, they walked toward the ark, guided not by instinct, but by God's unseen hand. Noah, his wife, his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, all entered the ark. The door closed, not by Noah's hand, but by God's. And then, rain. For the first time in history, the skies opened and the earth trembled. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. The waters rose higher and higher until even the tallest mountain was submerged. Everything that had breath outside the ark perished. The world as Noah knew it was gone. But inside the ark, there was life. Because inside the ark, there was faith, obedience, a covenant. For 150 days, the floodwaters ruled the earth. And then, God remembered Noah. The winds began to blow. The waters began to recede. The ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Noah sent out a raven. It flew back and forth, never landing. Then he sent a dove. It returned, finding no place to rest. 7 days later, he sent the dove again, and it came back with an olive leaf in its beak. Hope. 7 more days passed, and he sent the dove once more. This time, it did not return. The earth was becoming dry again. A new beginning was near. Finally, God said to Noah, come out of the ark, you and your family. Bring every living creature with you. Let them multiply and fill the earth. Noah stepped out onto a cleansed earth. The sky above was calm. The land below, fresh. And the first thing Noah did, was worship. He built an altar and offered a sacrifice to the Lord. God was pleased. And then, he made a promise, not just to Noah, but to all generations after him. I set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Never again will there be a flood to destroy all life. And so, the rainbow became a sign, a promise that even in judgment, God remembers mercy. Noah's story is more than a tale about animals and a big boat. It's a story of radical obedience, unshakable faith, and the reward of walking with God even when the world walks the other way. When God calls you to something that doesn't make sense, will you build your ark? When others mock your faith, will you keep hammering? Noah didn't know when the rain would come. He didn't know how long it would last. But he trusted the one who gave the command. God may be calling you to something today that feels impossible. But remember, obedience always opens the door to God's promises. As you go through life's storms, remember Noah's ark wasn't built in a day. It was built in patience, through faith, and with endurance. Be like Noah. Walk with God. Build even when it doesn't make sense. And trust that His promises never fail. If this story inspired you, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories of faith.